Hi, 8th graders. Today we're going to learn about the 3 levels of questioning. There are many ways we learn. We learn by watching others, we learn by doing something ourselves, we learn by reading, and we learn by asking questions. It matters that you can form your own questions in addition to answering questions. Here are examples of 3 different levels of questioning. What is the protagonist's profession? How does the neighbor's presence both confuse and improve the protagonist's life? When can rebelling be a positive action? We'll take them one at a time so that you become experts at identifying different levels of questioning and being able to form them and answer them yourself. To begin with, the first level of questioning is the literal level. That means the answer can be found in the text. The benefit of a literal level question is the foundation that you have of knowledge. You have to know, for example, the order of operation in math in order to perform math problems correctly. There is one correct answer to what is the correct order of operation, and it is
PEMDAS.
So again, the literal level, the answer can be found in the text. So in Fahrenheit 451, what is the protagonist's profession? The protagonist's profession is
a fireman.
That's exactly right. This doesn't require a whole lot of creative thinking. What it does require is that in reading, that you've read the information so that you know it. So literal level matters to make sure that you are comprehending what you've read. Because if you think, for example, in Fahrenheit 451, that his profession is firefighting, then you are close, but you are 180 degrees actually off. The second level of questioning is called interpretive level. And in the interpretive level, you have to base your answer on what you already know about the characters and the events that have happened. So you are using inferences. You will not find the answer directly in the text, but you should be able to support it by what you've read. How does the neighbors, and our neighbor in Fahrenheit 451 is Clarice, how does her presence both confuse and improve the protagonist's life? We are early enough in our reading that you don't have a solid understanding of that yet, but we see that she's a much different character than he is. So the interpretive level again, answers are implied, not directly stated. You must infer the answer based on what you already know, not wild guesses, but based on what you've read. If you know a character to be bold and strong, then you would expect that character to make that kind of decisions down the road. If you know a character to be timid, then you would expect them to be more unsure of decisions and choices. And finally, the third level of questioning is the universal level. These are answers that apply, and questions that address human nature and apply to what we might call real life. When you see a universal question, it will not include any of the characters' names from a text you've read or any of the situation. It will not include the author or the title. It is broad enough to deal with people at any time in history, past, present, future. So here's an example of that we can come at from Fahrenheit 451, but you'll see that the author, the title, the characters are not mentioned in the question. When can rebelling be a positive action? This could deal with people at any point in history. When does fighting what is normally accepted positive? This level is the most interesting. It requires the highest level of thinking, requires you to not only infer based on what you know, but to think abstractly, to relate your text to real life. So these good answers will lead to an appreciation of the text, will lead to further discussion. This is where we really get into exploring what we think, what we believe, our values, how we understand human nature. So all 3 levels of questioning are important. They become more interesting as we go up the ladder. To review, we've got our literal level. The answers can be found in the text. There's usually one right answer. Interpretive level, we're inferring based on what we know. These will also include hypothetical questions. For example, what might Guy think if he found that Clarice was a reader? And then we've got our universal level, applying to human nature. And again, does not deal directly with the text, but the reason we're asking that question is because of the text. Thank you for your attention. We'll see you in class.